Buying or selling real estate can be stressful. After all, it's not any old house we're talking about, it's your home. So when it's time to buy or sell, you want to make sure your search is in capable hands. That's why we turn to Angie Cole and the team at A. Cole Realty. You've seen Angie featured on HGTV's House Hunters. Realtor magazine named her one of the top realtors in the country. And just ask us, the numbers back her up. So listen up as we cover all the ins and outs of buying and selling a home here in the Triangle. It's time for the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole.
Thanks for joining us this week on The Savvy Realtor. I'm Walter Storholt alongside Angie Cole, who is the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle, serving you not only in Raleigh, but all the surrounding communities as well. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area and you need some help, Angie is here to inform you on today's show. You can find out more information about Angie and her team online by going to acolerealty.com. You can also listen to past shows on the website. And at any point in time, you can call or text Angie with your questions, 919-538-6477. Don't worry, we won't put you on the air. You can just call Angie directly at that number, 919-538-6477. And we had a ton of you reach out to us last week. Ton of you texted us or called the show, so people are seeking guidance, and definitely it sounds like there's a lot of moving and shaking. Well, we're going to get to lots of good things on today's program. We're going to call this a little bit of a special edition show where we're just going to take lots of your questions. Since we had so many inquiries over the past couple of weeks, we've taken some of the questions that reflect some of the common ones that you've been giving us, and we'll cover some of those questions throughout today's show. Let's get the special edition started off with Spencer in Raleigh, who has our first question of the week. Spencer says, I hear a lot about the danger of mold, but how can I find if a home I'm looking to buy has a mold issue? Isn't that kind of hard to spot?
It definitely can be, Spencer. You know, sometimes I've seen mold so prevalent that it is there. You could not miss it. For example, if you peek in the crawl space, you know, there might be some black speckles, or it could be white, fluffy looking. There's many different types of mold.
Okay. You know, that's good to know.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that you definitely need to get a mold specialist out there to
Not all mold is created equal.
Yeah, and not all mold is bad. I mean, or not. I mean, kind of.
Penicillin, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about, you know, like fungus, mushrooms aren't necessarily always bad. But, you know, as far as mold, not all mold is as dangerous as other molds. For example, think of, you know, when you're in your shower, you might get a little bit of mold, you know, in the caulking or the seams,
Sure.
you know. That's not going to kill you. You know, clean it up, but it's not the end of the world. But, you know, some of the molds that will grow and be caused from high humidity areas, you know, for example, in the crawl space, maybe there's standing water. It's really humid in there, and then that's causing the mold spores. Typically, that type of mold is very dangerous. When the mold is trapped and is then trapped in your home, you know, you're inhaling the vapors, those, I guess, mold spores, you know, that can cause, you know, lung cancer. I mean, it's dangerous. So it's
Sure.
a big deal. So in regards to Spencer's question there, first of all, your home inspector should pick up on this, you know. They are not mold specialists, but they, you know, look at your home in and out, up and down. They should spot if there's any type of mold that is present. It should be on the report. Typically what they will do, they will say you need to speak with then a mold specialist for, you know, further information on how to handle this and to see if it's actually, you know, a dangerous type of mold. But your home inspector definitely should pick up on that. You know, remember, as far as like seeing it, like I mentioned, sometimes it's very vivid, it's there. But I've seen where there's been mold in the HVAC ducts. That's something that probably would be noticed maybe by an inspector, but definitely like an HVAC inspector, vendor who is specifically, you know, inspecting your HVAC. So be careful. Mold is definitely dangerous.
Yep, that's some helpful tips. And like you said, though, even before the home inspection, if you see standing water in the basement, that's a red flag. That's a symptom to be on the lookout for.
Most definitely. If you see, standing water in a crawl space, you more than likely will eventually develop mold in your crawl space. So you need to look at options of how do we mitigate and how do we get rid of the standing water, which would then cause mold.
Great question, Spencer. Thanks for that one. We've got another one here from Sean in Clayton. Sean says, I have an escrow account to go along with my mortgage where the taxes and insurance fees are collected each month. My friend just told me that he's never had an escrow account. Why do I have one and he doesn't? Does it make a big difference in the grand scheme of things?
You know, Sean, honestly, it is a way for the banks to make more money. That's the real deal there. It is the way to, for example, if you have $3,000 that is put into escrow on a yearly basis, and then from there, the lender is paying your insurance and your taxes from the escrow, every year. That $3,000 is sitting there. Your escrow account will build. They always have a little bit of overage in your escrow account. But the bank is the one who's getting the interest off of that money sitting there. So it's a way for banks to make more money.
It's kind of like overpaying on your taxes, and the government's the one making the theoretical interest on that money, not you. Right?
It's 100% what it is. So that is, your friend does not have it, you do. I know the norm whenever someone's getting financing, typically there's probably a little box in there that is automatically checked saying that you are going to sign up for an escrow account. It's just kind of understood that you will. If you're getting the financing and you're not interested in an escrow account, definitely ask those questions, okay? Yeah. A lot of banks, a lot of mortgage lenders, they do charge if you do not set up an escrow account because they still want to get their money somehow. Doesn't seem fair, but they can do it, and they do it, right?
It's the world we live in, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, so it's just, a way for the financing department to capitalize on the interest.
In the grand scheme of things, if your escrow account is $3,000, the amount of interest you're really losing by not being able to have that in a bank account and earn, 0.25% or whatever is not that much. Now, someone who, might be living with high city taxes and high county taxes to go on top of everything and on a large property, well, now that might start to make a little bit of a difference.
Right. On an individual basis, am I really personally losing a lot of money because I am, escrowing? No. But you need to remember, a mortgage lender, they have millions of loans.
Right.
So millions of individuals that they are receiving escrow monies from that they then can capitalize on interest. Also, though, I personally, we escrow, for our home. And I enjoy it because it's just like saving slowly. You are saving away instead of all of a sudden you're smacked with, here's this big tax bill that you need to pay at the end of the year. So I personally would prefer to pay it that way. Same thing with my mortgage payment. I would rather pay on a monthly basis than to pay one lump sum on a yearly basis because more than likely you didn't put away for that money. So I like the idea of, having an escrow account. So, Sean, it sounds like you might be, in the process of maybe looking to buy a home. And so you're thinking about all these different options and what the best case scenarios are throughout the process. My team, we offer a home buying guide, which will walk you through the process from start to finish, just so you know and you're ahead of the game as far as what the steps are when buying. And also it is very helpful when it comes to selling as well, because it really talks you through the contract to close process. Because I know if you're not a real estate agent, that's probably something you're not aware of.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it every day.
Of course, So if you would like to receive a copy of our home buying guide, you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888. So just like you're texting a friend on your smartphone, you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888, and we'll send over a home buying guide.
All you have to do is text that number, 555-888. In the message field, just put the word contract. Very easy to do. We'll send you a link right back via text, and you just click on the link, and boom, the guide is downloaded right to your smartphone. Very easy to do. Again, just text the word contract to the number 555-888, and you'll be able to get that home buying guide right this instant. And again, great question, Sean. We appreciate that one. Let's get a one from Millie. Millie in Durham has a question for you, and this is a pretty good one, Angie. The homes in my neighborhood, she says, are selling way above and beyond what we paid for our home several years ago. It just seems crazy and too good to be true that our home might also be that valuable. How do I know if my home has also increased in value like our neighbors? We'd been thinking about selling sometime soon, and now seems like maybe it's a good time.
So, Millie, more than likely, you're probably in the same position as your neighbor, which is super exciting. There are certain areas that we cover. Some just really have appreciated a lot more than others. So that's a great thing, and I'm super excited for you. In regards to making sure and confirming that your home is worth or similar to where your neighbor has sold, you need to speak with a professional. So myself, that's my job. I come out to your home. I do a walkthrough. I'll give you an idea of where, the homes are selling in your neighborhood. I'll show you comparables, a net proceeds sheet, in order to see if it is a good move to go ahead and sell now. And also a great idea just to get the process started if you're thinking about selling. We also have a home evaluator, which will give you an idea of the value of your home. It's a great way to start just if you're thinking about possibly selling your home. So to take advantage of that, you can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888. We will then send a text to you. You click the link, you put in your address, and from there you'll get an automated response of the value of your home. So once again, it's a great way to just get a feel of where the homes are selling in your area. So you can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888, and from there you can get a good feel of the value of your home. And of course, if you're interested in an actual true listing presentation to know the exact value of your home, give me a shout. My phone number is 919-538-6477.
Yeah, what a lot of people do, Millie, is they get this initial estimate of their home's value, and then they'll follow up a little bit later on with Angie or maybe right away in some cases, for a listing appointment, and you'll get an even more accurate idea of how much your home's value is. So this is a great first step. So if you are curious about the value of your home and would like an initial estimate, all you have to do is text the word listing to the number 555-888. Again, that's 555-888. That's the number that you text. And in the message field, you just put the word listing. LISTING, listing. Text that word to 555-888. We'll text you right back. Click on the link, put in your home's information, and you'll get that value. One note that I think people have mentioned and said is helpful as well. Not only do you get this initial estimate, but let's say a couple weeks from now, things around you change, values around you continue to go up, you'll get a notification saying, hey, your home's value has changed. So it'll keep track as the market around you changes, and it'll alert you from time to time of those changes. And I think that's also a very cool tool. One more time, you can text the word listing to the number 555-888 to get that home evaluator. This is The Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle. She helped over 191 people buy or sell a home last year here in the Triangle and is ahead of pace this year again, helping lots of you move into a new place, which is very exciting. Also check her out on Zillow.com, where she has a 5-star agent rating. And you can call or text Angie directly if you have questions. 919-538-6477 is the number. That's 919-538-6477. Stay tuned to The Savvy Realtor.
Let's shine a little light on some of the Triangle's best areas right here on the Neighborhood Spotlight.
This part of the show we call the Neighborhood Spotlight. Walter Storholt here alongside Angie Cole. We feature a great area here in the Triangle, tell you a little bit about a neighborhood that you might not know a lot about, and see what the market looks like in that particular neighborhood. Angie, where's this week's Neighborhood Spotlight?
This week's Neighborhood Spotlight is located in Morrisville. Okay. The neighborhood is called Weston Corners. And this home, or this neighborhood, is a brand new neighborhood in Morrisville, and it's right on the border of Cary. It feeds into actually the Cary school systems, which I know a lot of people love. And so it's right off of Harrison Avenue and the intersection of Weston Parkway and Chapel Hill Road.
And this is Weston with O-N, not I-N, right?
Yes,
okay.
Weston. So Weston Corners. It's also right down the road from Prestonwood Country Club, if that kind of gives you, some bearings there.
It's also nearby the Oyster Bar. So
yes.
We're talking about a dangerous neighborhood here if you're like me.
Walter's going to visit. So, and it's, easy access to RTP, walking distance to the Park West Village shopping as well. Mm-hmm. So, it is prime location.
That's
for
a fun
sure.
area.
That
we go there we live in Durham, but we go down there just for fun all the time.
Yep. And it's growing so much. It's all new, too. It's a great area.
Yep.
So this neighborhood, like I mentioned, is a brand new neighborhood. There's a total of 35 homes that are being built, both 2- and 3-bedroom townhomes with 2-car garages. They're definitely like luxury townhomes with all the bells and whistles, the hardwoods, the granite, really nice townhomes. Yeah. And they're built by D.R. Horton is the builder, okay? They start in the 280s, so like you can see, they're definitely more of a luxury townhome. Mm-hmm. So high 280s and go into the 330s. So kind of a range there depending on the base price plus the upgrades being put in. Square footage, we range from 1837 square feet up to 2178 square feet. And the neighborhood is actually close to being closed out. I believe they only have a handful of homes left to be sold. Wow. So I bet eventually we will start to see some resales starting to pop up. But for right now, they're all brand new homes, But once again, they're on the very tail end of their construction being completed. So an absolutely great neighborhood. So like I mentioned, I can only assume that several people, or maybe not several, but, there's going to be some resales or people that are needing to move or just want to move in this particular neighborhood very soon because they are on the closeout, which is a great thing because you also will not have to compete against the new construction. So that's a positive. So if you are thinking about selling your home, whether you're in Weston Corners, which was our neighborhood spotlight, or just anywhere, if you're thinking about selling your home, a great way to get started is to text the word listing to the phone number 555-888. From there, we will shoot you back a text and you just click the link, you put in your address, and from there you'll get a value of your home. And it's great because the system does keep you updated whenever the values are changing within your area. So once again, if you're thinking about selling your home and you want to get started by just understanding an idea of where homes are selling in your particular area, you can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888.
Again, all it takes is a simple text from your smartphone. The number is 555-888. Yeah, we know it's only 6 digits. Don't worry, it'll still work. The phone number again, 555-888, and you're just texting the word listing in the message field. Hit send, and you'll get a text right back. Click on the link and fill out your information. Takes about 30 seconds to do that, and you'll get that estimate on the value of your home. And as Angie said, it'll keep you up to date as well when your value changes over time. 555-888. To that number, just text the word listing. And that's this week's Neighborhood Spotlight. Stay tuned. There's more coming up today on The Savvy Realtor.
You're listening to The Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole. Let's get back to the show.
Thanks for joining us this week on The Savvy Realtor. Walter Storholt alongside Angie Cole. She's the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle. And if you have questions about buying or selling a home here in the area, you can call or text Angie at 919-538-6477 to ask your question. That's 919-538-6477. 877. You can find Angie online on acolerealty.com, or if you like to go to Zillow.com, look up her agent rating and read all sorts of awesome reviews. She's got a 5-star rating there on Zillow.com. You've also seen her probably, if you are an avid follower of HGTV's House Hunters, maybe a couple years ago you saw her featured on the TV show, which was pretty cool. Here on today's show, we are taking your questions that we've gotten over the last couple of weeks, some of the popular ones that came in, and featuring them here on the show. It's sort of a special edition of our program. All questions from folks like you. And let's get to another one here, Angie. North in Wake Forest says, how important is it to have green features in a home? Does it really enhance the resale value? And is it something that buyers often care about?
North, it's one of those things that it's very similar to almost a pool. To some buyers, I could see it being very important. They are all about the HERS rating, what type of insulation was put into the home, but then other buyers, they could care less. So I think it's one of those items that really depends on the buyer, whether or not that will be really a selling feature. Also, many green features are starting to become code. If you follow kind of the code requirements for building a home throughout the years, they're making you put in more insulation. They're making you put in higher end, HVAC systems or thermostats or, whatever it might be. So a lot of those items are code, but there are some builders that are definitely going above and beyond. And that's a way for them to market their homes to be better, in relationship to the other ones, is by putting in these items. There's many builders that just really feel strongly about building a green home per se.
Sure.
Other than that, as far as significantly increasing the value of the home, unfortunately, I would say no. I would say there is going to be an increased cost of a home that has higher end, insulation and whatnot and these extra green features, but it's not going to significantly improve the value of the home. But it definitely can help sell the home.
It's probably not going to hurt, right?
No, not going to hurt. Not a bad thing. I don't want to mislead people that, hey, if I spend an additional, $20,000 on doing all these extra green features, I'm going to get now $30,000 back out of it. It's not that case.
Right. That's a good question, though, North. Thanks for the question. Also, love the name. North is a cool name, I think. Catherine in Apex has a good question here for you, Angie. Catherine says, what are some of the hottest areas to buy right now? We're looking at getting into investing in real estate and curious about some of the areas that are attracting a lot of attention.
So when it comes to investing, there are many different areas or pockets that we are seeing strong appreciation. For example, like downtown areas especially. So downtown Raleigh, downtown Durham. You will notice a lot of teardowns happening and then investors going in and they're flipping the homes, okay? Because the overall land is so valuable that they are taking advantage of that and they're flipping it and they're able to appreciate on that. Also, homes that are close to colleges, also in walking distance to entertainment. So if you have a new neighborhood popping up that's in walking distance, like I just mentioned, that Mooresville neighborhood, the Weston Corners.
You can walk to Park West right there.
There you go. When you're in walking distance, to entertainment, to shopping, to restaurants, those tend to appreciate a lot more. So I would say that those would be better for investments, for investors that are looking to rent, just, someone who's looking for a primary residence and hoping for it to appreciate quicker than normal. I would definitely focus on the areas that are all about, lifestyle, if that makes sense. The ones that make life easier. Those are the areas that are really, we're seeing a lot more appreciation.
It's a really good question. Thank you, Catherine, for that one. And if you would like to seek Angie's help and guidance when it comes to buying or selling a home here in the Triangle, I'll remind you the best way to get in touch is to call or text her directly at 919-538-6477. Angie can follow up with you that way very easily. 919-538-6477. If you're looking to sell, Angie can do a listing appointment with you, come out, show you all of the different reasons for why they might value your home at a certain price, talk to you about marketing strategies and all those kinds of things. Very, very helpful to have those one-on-one meetings. And again, you can set that up by calling or texting at 919-538-6477. Or if you just need guidance on, hey, we want to buy some investment properties, want to know some more about the area and what homes should we be looking at, Angie's team can point you in the right direction there as well. 919-538-6477. And again, you can call or text that number, 919-538-6477. Gracie has a question for you. Gracie's in Knightdale and says, I read an article that says you should splurge on staging your home. Is that wise? How much should someone typically budget for staging?
So when it comes to staging, my team, that is part of my services. So when listing a home, when I come out and meet with you for a listing presentation, I'll explain that. But as part of my services, I do have a professional stager that would come in. If you're living there, they will walk through the home, go room to room, take notes, give you feedback on things to do. It is night and day after a professional stager comes in. I mean, it makes a huge, huge difference. Also, my stager will come in if I have a vacant home and do kind of like a sprinkle staging, meaning, maybe in a living room, add a chair, add a throw, quilt or, a throw pillow. In the bathrooms, add, a colorful hand towel and some soap. So just a little extra sprinkle to add some color. Especially, this day and age, the newer homes are, a lot of people are going down the route of all white and gray. If you have a vacant home that is all white and gray, it is blah. Even when you take professional photos, if it is vacant. So you need some color.
It's okay if the home feels not lived in, but you don't want it to feel vacant.
Right.
Vacant's a bad word.
And that's the whole point of doing like the sprinkle, is to make it feel, to soften it up, soften up the edges, just really make the photo show better. In regards to, staging and you spending the money, Gracie, so if your home is vacant, so first of all, if your home is not vacant, if you're living there, I think it's well worth having a professional stager come in there and giving you feedback. Once again, my team, that's part of our services, so it's not a separate fee. But if you have to pay for it, I would. When it comes to a vacant home, it is a lot of money to pay for a professional stager to come in and bring all the furniture in. There's many companies that do it. I know I recently got a quote, and for 3 bedrooms, it was a minimum of $1,800 for 90 days. Okay. And so you were on a time limit too. And so it's not cheap. It definitely can help upsell a home, but it's just not something that's as common in our market, to be honest with you.
It just sounds like there's other ways to do it that can be successful rather than just forking over a whole bunch of money. That's kind of like throwing the money after the problem.
In our market, like we mentioned numerous times, it is definitely more of a seller's market. In our market, I just don't even think it's needed most of the time. I bet your home will be sold, by the time you would recoup that cost, if that makes sense. So, of course, if it's a model home, they stage their homes, but that model home could sit there for a year or two and be the home to walk through to get homes sold. So I don't know, Gracie, if I would really put that into your budget as far as staging goes, unless it's just giving some feedback. So if you're in this market and you are thinking about listing your home, of course, normally the first questions we get before the staging question is, what is the value of my home? A great way to get started with that is you can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888. So on your smartphone, just text the word listing to the phone number 555-888. And then from there, you will get a text. Just click the link, put in your address, and then an automatic value will come back to you. So it's to understand the value of your home, which is a great first step. And if you're super serious about listing your home, you're in the beginning stages, I also would love to actually meet with you. So I would love to come out, go through my listing presentation. Like I mentioned, one of my services as part of my marketing is I bring a professional stager through your home. So I would love to tell you more about that part of it. Also just all the marketing that I do when it comes to representing you as your real estate agent. And to do that, to set up a listing appointment, you can actually call me now or send me a text message. My phone number is 919-538-6477.
Again, 919-538-6477. The way to get in touch with Angie Cole and her team. You can call or text her at that number, 919-538-6477. Call or text Angie. She's the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle. 919-538-6477. Whether you prefer a call or a text, either way, just dial the number, 919-538-6477. I'm Walter Storholt. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next time on The Savvy Realtor.